Hello everyone, welcome to my English class. My name's Hu Chi, and today I'm gonna to tell you some advices why when you do a speaking test in the IELTS. As you know, in a speaking test in the IELTS, there are there are three main sections, and they are session 1, session 2, and session 3. However, in this lesson today, I will introduce you two parts in a speaking test. They are part 1 and part 2. And in part 1, I will introduce you two topics. They are museum and artwork and painting. And in part 2, I will I will show you how to describe a past event. And of course, at the end of this lesson, I will give you a short time for your practicing so that you can improve your skill greatly. Now we move to speaking part 1. You should remember that it will take you 5 minutes to answer 3 general topics with about 10 questions. And I have an advice for you that you should spend half a minute for each answer. And it's really essential to expand your answer by giving detailed so that the seminar can appreciate your ability, and they can increase your band score. Now we move to part 1 with the topic museum. This is the first question. Do you often visit a museum? Right, I will give you for 1 minute to so that you can brainstorm your idea and speak loudly in front of your mirror. Alright, time is out. And I would say that in this kind of question, it's a yes/no question. So you should answer directly yes or no. First of all, because it is the key word of this kind of question. After that, you should expand your answer by giving information about who often visit a museum with you. You how many times do you visit a museum in a week, in a month, and so on. And on top of that, you can add some benefits for people visiting a museum regularly. So here is my sample for this question. Here you can see that I answered directly. Well, I would like to say that I'm not a frequent visitor to museums. You can see here the blue word is the word well. I would say that the word well has the same function with the word such as the actually, and so on. And I have an advice for you that you should use this kind of word during your speaking test, because it can increase your nature while you are speaking. And on top of that, you can see the red word here. the three regular here. Not a frequent visitor. Is a answer for that. No, I don't often visit a museum. And then we will expand our answer here. You can see that I have to admit that I'm not the type who enjoy strolling around this kind of place. However, I know that visiting museums is a valuable experience and we could expand our knowledge and appreciate art and history better. You should pay more attention to records because it is a topic vocabularies and it can affect on your math score greatly. Now we move to see some useful vocabularies that I have used in my answer. A frequent visitor. The frequent here is the same meaning with regular, and the word to stroll around is a fixed collocation that you have to remember it. And the stroll around it has the same meaning with the word wander. It means that you are going around an area to expand one's knowledge. The word knowledge here is a synonym with the word horizon. You can you can say in other words that to expand one's horizon is an effective way to paraphrase your vocabulary. And now we move to the next question. Are there any museums in your hometown? Again, I will give you 1 minute to think up your idea and speak loudly in front of your mirror. Alright, time it out. Again, it's a yes no question. So you know how you know what you need to do, don't you? Yes, please follow what I tell you. You should answer directly that yes or no. But don't get me wrong that you only can say yes or no. On instead of that you can paraphrase this word by another ways thus thus can improve your diversity. You can see my sample for this question is you can see here. Yes, there are plenty of museums in my hometown. Since it's the center of tourism or tourist city, you know, we have museums of art, military, and war and archaeology. To be honest, I've visited those a bunch of innumerable times for education since I was in primary school, so they are not special for me anymore. You can see that in this answer, I tell about myself about the location of my city here. It's a tourism city, so it need have a lot of museums to attract with tourists. On top of that, I also mentioned types of museums in my city, such as art, military, war, and archaeology. And besides, I also mentioned a my experience when I was in primary school, and I I was taken to this place. Please pay more attention to my slides, and you could find useful information for your speaking test. If you can't think of any ideas, you can take my ideas. Then you apply it to your test. It's so normal. Don't worry it. Here are some useful vocabularies. The center of tourism. It means that the the tour the there are there are a lot tourists there are a lot proportion of tourists go to the city annually, and the tourism in this city is really developed. Archaeology is the name of a field that researchers will find out antiques and old things that were left by our ancestors in the past time. And the word innumerable here, it means that it's very great, it's very huge, or it's very a lot of. Now we move to the next question. When was the last time you visited a museum? And again, I will give you a minute to uh, think of your own idea and speak 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 up loudly in front of your mirror. Okay, time it out. And then I will show you my sample for this question. You can see here. Well, let me recall or think. I suppose that was early last year before the imposition of lockdown over the city. According to my dim recollection, or if I remember correctly, I went to a military or and war museum near the beach with my new foreign friend Alexa. This is a national museum named Trường Sa, which is sponsored by the government. Alexa was really amazed and interested in Vietnamese history that I had introduced to her during the visit. You can see in this answer, I I tell a short story about my last experience when I visited a museum, and on top of that, I add my friends' uh, emotion and feelings in this answer to so that the so my story become more real, and it can be it can have a sense of nature. Please pay more attention to this slide because there are some phrase that to you should remember deeper because it really is useful for you to apply in your speaking test because it is a because they are linking words, and it will have to improve your cohesion in your text. Here are some new words. Please write down these new words on your notebook and learn by heart every day so your vocabulary range can be enhanced greatly. The imposition of lockdown, according to my dim or vivid recollection, to be sponsored by. Now we move to the next question. Do you think museums are important? Alright, I will give you 1 minute again so that you can come up with more creative ideas, and you should speak it loudly in front of your mirror. Alright, time is out. And please, if you don't have time enough, don't be worried, and then you should pause my video for a few minutes, and then you can continue your answer. In this question, you can paraphrase the word important, and instead you say that it's important, it's crucial, it's essential. You can say that museum plays a important role in the society. It's a good paraphrase. And now I will show you my answer for the question. You can see. First of all, because it's a yes no question, so you should answer directly yes or no, because it's the keyword. You can see here. Absolutely, they are. It means that yes, I think museums are really important. And you can expand your answer by this: museums plays a crucial role in educating the public about art, history, culture, and even science. You can see here, plays a crucial, a essential, a important, and significant role. Instead of just saying it's a important or it's a crucial. And here, mm, can you see the blue word here? Indeed, indeed, is a linking word. It have your text become more associated with each other. And now we move to see some new words. You can see here. To play a crucial or vital role in something. From an economic perspective, I find that is a really, really a really good phrase that you should learn by heart, and you can use this phrase to apply in both writing and speaking text because it is neutral. To be an indispensable part, the word the word indispensable here is the same meaning with the word such as crucial, vital, critical, and so on. Now Now we will finish the topic museum and we will come to the new topic. It's a art and artwork. I find that it's quite hard because the artwork is abstract. The first question is that do you like art? And again, it will give you 1 minute so that you can come up with new ideas and speak it loudly in front of your mirror. Alright, time it out. Here is my sample for this answer, for this question. You can see here. Sorry. Well, I could say that I have strong enthusiasm for art. You know, I love different forms of art, especially fine art. I also have an intensive collection of abstract artworks and Japanese pottery at home. They are indeed my treasures. You can see here, instead of that you say that, yes, I like art, you can say that I have, I could say that I have strong enthusiasm for art. The phrase have strong enthusiasm is mean that you really enjoy art. And here you can see some words is the topic vocabulary for this topic. Now we will see some new words. And I have inserted some images so that can you can understand the meaning of these words deeper and more clearly. The word fine art it has the opposite meaning with the word applied art. Abstract, you can see the picture here, and ceramics or pottery is the picture here. Okay, we move to the new question. Is there any artwork on the wall in your room? And again, I will give you for 1 minute to so that you can think of your answer and then you should speak it loudly in front of your mirror. Alright, time it out. Here is my sample for this question. As I have mentioned before, it's a yes/no question, and so you should answer directly the question. You can see here. Actually, I don't have any piece of artwork in my room since it is rather cramped. Expand your answer. However, we have a miniature of the Dragon Bridge and a reproduction of Vincent van Gogh's masterpiece Starry Night in our living room. I would say that those artworks significantly embellish our interiors. In this answer, there are some good vocabularies, so you should collect it and learn by heart. Now we will see some new words here. In this answer, I also add some images so that you can understand the meaning of this word more clearly. A miniature of something. You can see here. It's a mini object, not a gigantic. A masterpiece to embellish, to have the same with either synonym with to adore something and synonym with decorate something with. It had the meaning that you it is the description of the description of beautifying something. And here you can see the word interiors either had the opposite meaning with the word exteriors. You can see in the picture here the interior sorry, it's my mistake. Interior interiors either furniture or the sofa or overall they are something that inside your home. And obviously you can see that interiors are the outside either outside layer of a house. Okay, have you written down this word on your notebook? Please do it if you have done yet. Okay. The next question. Do you like painting? Or again, I will give you for 1 minute to think up your idea and speak it loudly in front of your mirror. Alright, time is out. And please don't worry that you don't have you can't think of your idea because you can take my example for your preferences. Here you can see my answer here. Oh, sorry. Frankly speaking, drawing is not my cup of tea. To tell the truth, I have drawn for a long time because I have various other hobbies to spend time on. However, I believe that painting is an effective way to practice mindfulness as well as express your emotions. I think that this answer has a lot of good words, good linking words, and good vocabularies. You should concentrate on this slide. Now we move to the newer part here. Something is not one's cup of tea. It means that you don't like doing that activity or that you don't love something. And the work to practice mindfulness is that you practice your mental health, your plan, your emotion, and your feelings, and so on. It's a different from the physical health. And the phrase it expresses one's emotions. Alright, the speaking part one is have already finished, and now we move to speaking part two. There are there are some there are some notes that you should pay attention to. In that in this part, the seminar will give you 1 minute to prepare your idea, and then you should jot down keywords on the sheet that the seminars will give you, and then you have 1 to 2 minutes to deliver your ideas. And I think that you should spend approximately 2 minutes because 1 minute is too short, and the examiner can't understand your thoughts. And moreover, you shouldn't stop your speaking test until the examiner asks you to do it. You should try to speak as more as possible. And now, today we will study about the past event description, and I will show you how to describe this event. Here are some sample questions that I want to show you. Okay, you can see here. Describe a time when you had a problem with an equipment. Describe a time when you got close to wild animals. Describe a time when you make a mistake and how you dealt with it. Describe a time when you needed to use your imagination. Describe a time that you gave advice to others. Describe a time when you ate something for the first time. And today I will show you how to tackle the first question. It's a describe time when you had a problem with an equipment. And you should remember that in this kind of question, they often include four main sections. They are introduction, content, what happened in details, and your moral or your feeling after this occasion. And in my sample, I will talk about technology devices, because this this kind of equipment is really easy to be haptic, such as laptop, smartphone, or tablet. And I will give you 5 minutes to brainstorm your idea, your vocabularies, and then you should write down keywords on your paper, and then you speak up it loudly in front of your mirror. Okay, because the time is limited. So if you don't have time enough, please pause the video for a few minutes, and then you can continue to practice this question. Here, you should remember that for these requirements are the most important, the more the main the structure of or of a story, and it is called a storytelling method. You should remember it. Now we move to step one, introduction. In this step, you will talk about yourself or your experience which relates to this topic, and then you should paraphrase the question. Maybe you know these things because in both writing and speaking skills, you should paraphrase the words very many times. The introduction is to introduce about yourself, uh, talk about your experience. So you should use the present tense. To talk about yourself, you can use these words here to start with, initially, to begin with, and then you say that here in my example. I would say that I'm not a tech savvy, so I have experienced quite a lot of issues when using some technological devices. Tech savvy is here is to describe people who are really good at technology. And then you can paraphrase the question instead of that you say that let me describe about a moment that a time when I have a mistake with an equipment. So you can talk in another way like this. But let me tell you a story about the time I had a technical problem with my laptop. You can see that technical problem instead of the problem with an equipment. Do you understand my idea? Yes, I will be really glad if you understand my idea. And then we move to step two, creating the content of the story. Because this is a past event, so you must you the past simple tense. Oh, sorry. First of all, you should mention the time when this time occurred. You can see my sample, my two sample. My recollection of this is rather dim or vague because it happened a long time ago. I try to remember that was around the time when I was a secondary student, or you can say this. My recollection of this is still vivid or distinct, although it happened a long time ago. The words colored thread is really useful and crucial. So you should pick up them and learn by heart. It can spot your test. Then we will set the context. You will say about the context and the situation of that occasion. You can see my example here. Back in the day, laptops were not as popular as they are now. And owning one was actually something to be proud of. However, in my second year of high school, my parents bought me an Asus laptop as a reward after finishing a tough exam with excellent results. And to increase your nature while you are speaking, you should add your feelings at that time. It's like there. Although I had known that mom and dad were going to have a gift for me, I was still extremely surprised at this was a brand new laptop from Asus, which was one of the most technically advanced laptops on the market. You can see. Now we move to step 3. What happened? This is the time you should tell your problem, and you should pay attention that every story has three main sections. They are the rising, climate, and the ending point. To tell story more appealing, you should use this method. And here you can see my example. It's an epic situation. And you can see my example here. One day when I was studying in a coffee shop with a couple of my friends, a female waiter inadvertently spilled a glass of water on my laptop. Needless to say, I was very pissed off because the screen went blank right away and I couldn't type anything from my keyboard. I was completely panicked, wiping the water with a piece of tissue, but it still seemed hopeless. You can see here. I I added a lot of my feelings and my feelings at that time, and therefore in this answer to increase my nature. Now we move to the core idea. The core idea of this answer is here. You can see that. Afterwards, one of my friends suggested me that I should bury it in a container of uncooked rice, as the dry rice would absorb the moisture out of my laptop. So I rushed home as soon as possible and did exactly what she said. Fortunately, the laptop then was able to start again, and the screen and the keyboard came back to the perfect condition. You can see here. You can the climate point of this answer is in the first 2 points here. You can see here. And the ending point of this question is the last sentence. You can see here. Please remember this storytelling method because it's a one of decisive factors in your story. Then I will give you some words that describe the sequence when you want to describe the other things in a story. You can see here. First, we had the same meaning with once upon a time, at first, before, or earlier. And the next and then had the same meaning with a lot of words such as here. Later, once, after, soon, second, afterwards, the next day, and meanwhile. And the last one is that the word last and finally had the same meaning with these words here at the end, or you can say directly the outcome of this story, like there. They lived happily ever after. This is a good ending. And here there are six storytelling tips that I want to show you that you should collect one to two of them to make your story more appealing. You can see here. The first one is make it visual. The second is make it emotional. The third is make it accessible. The fourth is make it human. The fifth is make it interactive. And the sixth is use a call to action. Please write down this method on your notebook, and so that you can revise them up in the future when you need to practice. And now we move to step 4, the final step, that you should tell the moral and the feelings when after this occasion occurred. You can see some available structure that I'm showing to you here. You can apply it to your speaking test. The moral of the story is the event has taught me that the event was important to or for me because, and you can add one more sentence depends on your thoughts, your feelings, or your emotion. Because the morals is something that uh, occurred that occur after that occasion, and so that you can use the present and the future tense in this session. You can see here is some of my sample for this question. Oh, sorry. The moral of the story is, to me, although technological devices are really convenient and helpful, they are also highly vulnerable. That's why it could be so risky if we don't take care of them gently. After that awful experience, I have always been super cautious when using or touching my laptop. If you don't, if you can't come up with your idea, you can you can take my ideas for your preferences, and then you can re-innovate it your for your for your wish. And now is the practice time. The practice time that you should that in this moment you should record all your answers of questions that I have shown you at the beginning of this lesson to the end. Then you repeat this recording for many times, and then you should find your mistake in this recording, and then you will change this, you will and then you can be improved after a lot in the speaking skills. uh Please trust me, after only a short time you follow this method, your speaking test will be enhanced clearly. uh, as I have promised with all of you in my previous video, because the last video is not time enough so that I will show you the answer for for this question, so you can see here the last the question in the last video is that describe a time you made a mistake. Oh, sorry you. It's in your homework. It's in your homework. It's your homework of the lesson today. That it describe a time you made a mistake and how you deal with it. You should do this question as your homework, and you should record it, and then you do whatever I have told you before. I think this question is quite same with the previous question I have shown you. So I think it will be easy for you to speak it. And then, as I have promised with all of you in the previous video, because in the last video the time is limited and I couldn't show the answer of this question, so this video I will do it. The question of the previous video is describe a piece of international or local news. And in this type of question, you should answer four questions below to answer the main question smoothly. The first one is that tell about yourself. It can be your personality or your experience that which relates to the topic. The second is that you should answer where, when, and what were you doing when you heard it. The third one is that what was the news about. And the last one is that you should plan. You should give explanations or justifications how you felt about it. Here, I will show you how to deal with these questions. But I think it's quite similar with the with questions in the previous videos. The first one is that talk about yourself. Talk about yourself and in yourself, and you should say about your personality, your habit, what relates to the topic. You can see available structures that I'm showing to you here. I would like to start by telling you that I'm a bit of or I'm quite a weak person. Actually, I blah blah blah. And the next question is that how you knew about it. The third one is what was it about, and the last one is that how do you feel about it. Here is my example. Here is my example for this question. Oh, sorry. For the first question, I will talk something about myself. such as I'm always fun up or interested in current news to keep oneself updated with or informed of ongoing events. Here, I would like to share a piece of international news of the blah 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 that I recently hear. I recently read or heard. You can see I have paraphrased the word here. Fun up and interested in and fun up have the same meaning with the word like, enjoy. The next question is how you know it, and you should recollect about that news by using these words as far as I remember or as I recall. And on top of that, you should mention that you heard or you have heard or read the piece of news on which which um which mean of device, so that you can say that you have heard them on TV, on the internet, or in a newspaper or in a newspapers. For example, you can see my answer is it just happened a couple of weeks ago, so my recollection of it is quite vivid. As I recall, it was an evening and my family just finished eating dinner. Then we all wanted to see what's on, so we flipped on the TV. Then we came across a piece of international news about the production of COVID-19 vaccine. The next question is that what is what is it about? It is the main core of it. It is the main answers of the question because it will talk about the core idea. You can start this idea by using this word here. It is said that it is about, and here is my example for this question. You can see here. It is said that now many countries like Britain, Russia, and India have developed the vaccine, and soon it will be available in the market. This news was really reassuring because people were living in fear because of the corona. This disease has been obviously contagious and fatal. But now patients do not have to worry because they can be treated. And finally, you should tell about your feeling, your emotion, or your thoughts about this news. You can say that this news negatively or positively affected not only me but also everyone around the globe. It was truly a threat or a relief, or you can say in another way that I hope that blah blah blah. And here you can see my example for this question. Let's see here. This news positively affected not only me but also everyone around the globe. It was a big relief as once everyone gets vaccinated, I can resume a normal life, go to work, and meet my friends and relatives. And at the moment, the lesson have have already finished. I really appreciate your attention, your attending and your attention today. Thanks for listening to me. Thanks a lot. Bye bye. See you later on the next videos.